I'm not sure what to call this. If it's the first podcast for Texas college baseball or if it's the trial run, I guess we'll have to see how it goes. But I have high hopes for it. Both Parker and I love the game, love college baseball, and he's been a big help to me on this journey. So why not do it all? As you guys know, I'm Kel Boardwine, and that is the man, Parker Edwards, right there. I'll let him take it away for a sec here.
Yeah, I mean, I just played HBU, hit up Kel a couple months ago, actually, and feels like it was forever ago, and we're just hit it off, I'm excited to get this started.
It's been quite the ride. We decided we were going to grind through the off season, and that paid off. And there's nothing better than watching college baseball except playing. So
that is very true.
We might as well give you a little rundown on what we're thinking here. So we're going to go over not each game. We don't want to do an hour and a half podcast. We want to keep it short and sweet, something you guys want to listen to, catch up on, some stats, some of the top players, a recap of the Texas College Tour that I'm doing. And video will be coming out for that. However, we had a little setback due to our editor. We had a team of 3. We're back to a team of 2. And I'm doing it all. I'm trying to get it out, and we'll get that out, but I'm going to make sure it's high quality content rather than just some mumbo jumbo rookie video editing. And it's actually really cool. First video, and I've now been to 8 different stadiums and seen, I want to say 14 different teams now, and 2 major league stadiums. Yeah. So it's been quite the little journey. I'm getting out there, I'll be at all 22 by the end of the spring. And then we'll be somewhere for regionals, somewhere for supers, and hopefully Omaha.
Huge. Very huge. You're going to be watching 4 teams in Omaha. That's 4 Texas teams in Omaha.
That would be crazy. That would be
awesome.
Crazy. The way it's going, there could possibly be 3.
Yeah, definitely. That'd be
my
huge.
3 at the moment that could be from the state of Texas. Obviously, your Longhorns. They're good. They're completely solid.
I mean, they're good. Yeah.
At this point, on March 7th, I have the TCU Horned Frogs and Coach Sarlos's first year showing up to Nebraska. And then between these other 3 teams I have on my mind, I'm going with ACU. They hit the freaking pick. Ball. I think they could do it.
Yeah, I think so. That might be a bit of a sleeper pick compared to everybody else. They're not getting much media attention, but they're solid. They really are.
If I were a betting man, that'd be a decent bet to place. The only problem is a lot of the supers do run locally. Happens a lot. TCU and A&M matched up like 3 out of 4 years or something wild, and I think A&M only got them once. But just ACU would be my third team here, and I definitely see it as a possibility. But on that note,
I like it.
We love Texas college baseball, all the teams. Parker is an HBU guy only. That's something that is to be known. Parker helps me on the back end. He also does the very front end with the designs like this Berkman era, baby.
Sir. Big HBU design right there. That's huge. One of my favorites right there. A little bit biased, but I love it.
Parker does nothing that involves other teams except artwork. And I think that's something you guys should know. HBU guy for life. Thankfully.
Definitely HBU for life.
I'm out of ball, so I have the chance to root for all the teams. But I did get to, through NIL or however you wanted to phrase it, take Parker up with us, and it's been a blessing. We've gained over 2,000 since he's been here. I couldn't be more thankful to have Parker on board.
I appreciate that. I'm so happy to be here. It's a blast. It really is.
So should we get underway?
I think so. I think we're good to go.
Recap of our teams. Once again, we want to keep this fairly short, content filled. Don't want to drag it on. We want you guys to hopefully, if you like it, hopefully be able to do this often and get a little background noise and keep you up to date.
Yeah.
I'm going to start with this weekend at the Juice Box. Minute Maid Classic, Shriners College Classic. It's always special. And it's even more special when it's all Texas. We only had 2 teams this year, Baylor Bears, Texas Longhorns, but they both put on a show. Both went 2-1. Texas came out the gates firing, started 2-0. They beat Tennessee. Tennessee starter was throwing 97-mile-an-hour sinkers. That was insanity.
Oof.
And not only that, it was consistent.
That is nuts. Oh, yeah.
I think Chase Burns was his name, all over Pitching Ninja from that outing. But in the end, Texas Longhorns do it once again. High-powered offense.
Yeah.
Silas Ardoin, Douglas Hodo, Ivan Melendez, Eric Kennedy, Austin Todd. They do it all. They're good. They're a solid team. And their bullpen might even be better. It's probably the best bullpen in the nation. But their bullpen might outweigh their hitting. They're just so good. It's really fun to watch. And then on the mound, Hanson, not overpowering, just the lefty that controls the game. You got Tristan Stevens, who's yet to allow a run. 19 innings. He's really good. Got passed up in the draft last year, which was a mistake. Tanner Witt got hurt. Precautionary. Coach Pierce, we're glad to hear he's throwing a bullpen tomorrow. He'll be back. Dude is what you'd call one of those driveline guys on the mound. A thrower, throws hard. Just
that's a tough loss, but we're glad he's healthy. Not from an opponent's point of view. We're not glad he's healthy from an opponent, but just he's a baller. He really is.
Did you play against him at all in the great city of Houston?
We play them later. Like, we play them once, but I mean, me personally, I haven't faced anybody from Texas.
So I faced Tanner when he was a two-way still, coming out of Episcopal, and I was a sophomore, and he was still in high school.
You faced him as a hitter or a pitcher?
I was a pitcher. He was a hitter.
Okay.
Cannot hit. And it was summer ball, the one up here at Premier, where Poppy is, DST. A lot of guys know that place. And we had this one random game in Bel Air down by HBU. Fence was like 360 to left center. And I got through the lineup one time. He was on the other team. Had like 6 Ks through an inning. It was before this league popped off. Witt comes to the plate, and I'm telling my catcher I could burn a fastball in by this guy. Mind you, I probably threw 91-mile-an-hour sinker. Tanner Witt hit this ball over the other field's backstop, to shortstop spot, in the middle of a game on the other field too. And that was when he was hitting. He must be that good at pitching. He's fun to watch. Just thought it was a funny little story. But
yeah,
they did good. Lit up LSU. 25,000 people just roaring. That place was just booming. And it was like Cajun versus barbecue in my mind. But it was just so purple. And the LSU was just taunting Texas the whole time. And then Texas started scoring some runs. And the fans in the orange won't sit down. It was a lot of back and forth. It was all friendly. 2 good Southern schools. And I actually was joined by an OG fan of Texas college baseball, Michael Hildebrand. Shout out, Mikey. He came through. We met up.
For sure.
Got a little video in together. He was really fun to watch the game with. Glad I caught up with him. Texas college baseball, man. How about those Bears? Incredible.
Bears.
Tyler Thomas. They just took you guys down the other week. Y'all played some good baseball against them, but a little better, and you come out with a W.
Yeah, I think so. I think we just fell short, but they're a good team. They really are.
Tyler Thomas, 8 2/3, doubled, had to come out. Coach Rodriguez was special at Baylor. And then tough game versus Tennessee after 6 stolen bases in the first inning. Just didn't go their way. And then versus LSU, back and forth. That's going to be a classic, a college classic right there. Bears,
Oh
Tigers.
yeah.
That Jack Pineda home run. I know one of the broadcasters from working at the Skeeters, and that ball just, you're like, it just kept carrying, and it didn't even look like a nuke off the bat. And then it hits off the
Mhm.
railing. It's just like, that's juice.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's juice. But a fun weekend,
That.
all in all. Really fun to watch
Yeah.
baseball on a big league stadium. And Minute Maid is far cheaper than Globe Life. Rangers, get it together. I know you just dropped like 400 million, 600 million, something like that on 2 players, but
Mm-hmm.
it cost me $40 for a single game ticket and $25 to park. And I didn't even
Figure it
get to
out,
park
Globe
like at the
Life.
stadium.
Figure it out.
At
That is
least
sad.
at least TCU won when I went to that.
That is solid.
I want you to talk about your HBU boys. They're some of our big supporters, so take it away with what happened in California.
Yes, sir. Big upset in Sac State. You know, we came off the plane straight day one, and we were punched in the mouth. It hurt. I mean, huge loss game one. You know, the wind was blowing out. They had a little bit of help with that. They put the ball in play, and they had a couple carry over. And I mean, I'd like to say we fell short, but man, it was it was a big fall, you know. But Huskies Huskies don't quit. We came back, punched them back in the mouth game two, came right back, swept the doubleheader, felt really good. A little shout out to Andy Reitmeyer. He was able to close 2 games in one day with no runs. It was very impressive. And then came back game three on Sunday and beat them again. It was huge. Felt great to basically take their rank away. It felt really good, you know?
Not only that, Coach Berkman has won 2 straight weekend series now. The dogs are
Yes, he
hot.
has. Dogs are hot. Yes, sir.
Can you talk about what you did? I know you just said the wind was blowing out, so that might take a little bit
No,
away.
let me just say the wind was blowing out on Friday. There was absolutely wind was completely dead on Saturday. There was nothing blown out at all. But I did hit one up into the upper deckers in the parking garage. Scored 3 runs for us. Carried us to a win 3-2. You know how it is.
First Division 1 homer. Congratulations.
It was first D1 bomb of many. I'm gonna call it right now. Of many. Let's get it.
Let's go. It's exciting to hear.
Yes, sir.
Congratulations, Parker.
Thank you. Thank you.
How about HBU? Give us a rundown of the first 2 weeks, just some standout players, some guys we need to keep watching.
You know, I wish I could call out all starting nine. You know, they're my boys out there, but um, Austin Roccaforte, Diego Davila, you know, they're just going off right now, and really special to the handlebar. We got Jake Miller, just absolutely raking over there, best mustache in the entire United States right now. They're just stand up guys, you know, hitting balls, just making plays, just all around great guys, you know, just ballers. Yeah. Just our whole pitching staff is solid. I mean, no one. I don't think we're just gonna start running through teams. People are gonna be surprised, you know. And I mean, we got Jared Birch on the mound. He's nasty. Ethan Abbott, you know, just great ballers. Dogs are great right now.
That's awesome. And you guys got Prairie View
Yeah.
at Prairie View tomorrow,
Yes, we do.
and then Lamar Wednesday.
Yeah.
And I wanted to make a comparison to y'all to HBU and Lamar from what I know from you guys. I mean, I spent a little more time with you guys. I got to film videos. You
Hmm.
guys are a very close knit team, and I've heard the same thing about ACU as well. That you guys
Right.
are like as team gets. How are
Hmm.
you feeling about this week going into these next 2 games? We're looking at a chance to keep building on a win streak here.
Right. So I mean, even like you keep hearing it, dogs are hot. We'd like to carry into a 5 game win streak going into this week. And then we can go into La Tech this weekend with 5 games in our belt in a row. Obviously, Lamar's a really good team. If I'm not mistaken, they were an old Southland rival back in the day. And so we'd like to carry that back on and take a win from them. Prairie View's also a very solid team. We're ready to go. We're gonna take 2 this week. Let's do it.
Run the totals up. All right. Next, I'm just gonna go ahead and head over to the Lamar boys. I roomed with Kelby Weiler. If you've seen the video, not only at Rice, we roomed in summer ball in Detroit, Michigan as well. This Lamar team can pitch, and I would like to credit Coach Sean Snedker. He was former Duke guy, Marcus Stroman's guy. This year, these guys they've come out to pitch. They're top 5 in every category, I believe, for pitching in the state of Texas. They throw strikes, and they throw surprisingly hard. They're low 90s guys. Not a scouting report for you, but more for the state of Texas. It's all information anybody can access. They're really good guys. They're Friday night. Braxton Doffett. I'm sorry if I said that wrong, Braxton. He's come out just firing at the zone. High strikeout numbers. They're fun to watch. They got one guy, Eknes. He hasn't had the best start. He's up 98. Last year, 99. Once he figures it out, it's going to be a dangerous weapon for those guys. Jack Dallas out of the pen was really special last year. I think he had 7 saves last year. He's got 1 under the belt this year. Has pitched increased innings, too. They've had a couple of extra inning bouts. Just a really solid team. Josh Blankenship, too, for Lamar's, hitting nearly 500. Bunch of guys hitting 300. Not hitting the ball out of the park right now. The wind blows in early in the year in Beaumont. But they might be looking for something special later on. And they just came off a sweep at Mount St. Mary's. They're heading into conference this weekend. Start adding those totals for the tournament. They're new to the WAC, like you were saying, old rivals with HBU. Mm-hmm. That was a whole year ago. Excited to see these Lamar guys. And I think if we're going to talk about college baseball, we got to talk about offense too.
Oh, yeah.
ACU.
Who we got on the offense?
ACU, Texas Tech, Abilene Christian, Texas Tech, Sam Houston State. I had to say that because if I say the abbreviation for Abilene Christian, you know who activates. These guys lit up the scoreboards this weekend and two of them been lighting up all year. One's not far behind, just one weekend at DBU didn't go their way. For Texas Tech, Parker Kelly had a game with 2 grand slams and a solo homer. Ooh. 3 homer day, 9 RBIs.
What a day for him. What an absolute day.
And the craziest part about him is they had a guy last year, Nate Rombach, who's now at DBU because Parker Kelly was outplaying him a little bit. And now he's finding his home over at DBU. All their pitchers for Texas Tech, mid-90s, and they're late game guys. Some of them are upper 90s. They're really special. Owen Washburn, who had the walk-off, he's off to a hot start. Dylan Carter with the crazy catch. He's playing good ball. Kurt Wilson, also really good. And you know the name I left for last, Chase Young. Slow start. Oh, yeah. Red hot last 2 weeks. He's hitting 380, like a 1,500 OPS. 2 bombs. And when he starts hitting bombs, they start flying. He had 2-3 homer games last year. For Texas right now, he has competition, though, and we'll get to that guy. He plays for UTRGV. Oh, yeah. But player of the year, gold spike category level player, Jace Young's up there.
Definitely.
And they took it to Merrimack this weekend. It was brutal. It's just, it was a run the base circus out there.
It was. It was a hit parade. It really was.
Sam Houston also had a really good week. They played the Texas Southern Tigers, and that went all Sam Houston. One game was even 33 runs in total, 21-12. The football game,
Ooh,
essentially.
I was just about to say that's a football game. Wow.
I want to shout out Carlos Contreras, though. He hit 692, 9 for 13 over the weekend. 15 RBIs in one weekend.
Wow.
He averaged 5 a game. 4 extra base hits, 2 were homers. And he slugged 1,400.
That's a weekend right there. He's feeling good right now, definitely.
That ball, that's a beach ball. He's looking at a beach ball.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Wyshkowski and Clayton Chadwick still raking for Sam Houston. With the loss of Cowser, they're gonna have to pick up some offense. They've found where to do it. Sam definitely slept on, but they have a really good starting rotation. Matt Dillard, Stephen Beard, Atkinson. They're going to get their innings this year. They're consistent guys. Coach Sirianni breeds these consistent guys. And then you got Wes Nesky starting some midweeks, closing out other games. Tough one versus Texas. The week after, a really good one versus the Cowboys, who just faced Vanderbilt. He'll find it. He's good. His brother's really good. We know him. And then Lance Luss, the closer.
Yeah.
Sam has nothing to worry about early on. First year,
not at all.
Out west, they're going to be pretty good.
Yeah, definitely.
And the last of our offense, Abilene Christian. Everybody rakes.
The name fits. The name fits. Rake CU.
Rake CU, baby. Literally everybody rakes. They had a game versus Marist College. They hit 11 home runs this weekend in one game. Sixth all time. Ties for sixth all time.
Oh, wow.
Here's just some of the names. They had 9 guys hit homers, but here's just some of the names that rake. Eager, Randall, Hammett, Tatro, Ladisaw, Giesler, Dickinson, Kazarin, Tweet, Cruz, Staley. And I'm sure if you sent – there's more guys, but I'm sure if you sent their pitchers up there, like the bullpen guys that say they could hit home runs, like I think these bullpen guys would go up there and literally hit one out of the park. Like that's the way they hit.
Yeah.
Their pitching had been a concern too. I don't think it is anymore. Just starters ERA is not where you typically want it. Their whip's low. But their bullpen with Tanner Riley, they got Sells, they got Huffling, Henry Cervantes off to a kind of slow start, but not really. He's going to be all right. Throws gas. These guys, there's a reason why I put them near Omaha.
Oh, yeah.
They've swept 2 weekends in a row, Michigan State and Marist College. Tough one versus North Dakota State going 1-3, but that was a Stanford regional team last year. So I think this team's got plenty of upside.
Definitely. The fact that there is more than 9 kids on that list of the guys who rake, and there's more, just shows you can't get anybody out in that lineup. That's a hard lineup to go through. Definitely.
I want to give a shout out to Brett Hammett. He's a second baseman for them. I was messaging him. I wanted to do an interview with him. Still hoping to get that in. And he got hit in the head with the pitch, and he had to sit out. And he's like, yeah, just got to get head scans. Everything's going to be okay. He's back in the lineup now. He's like, I don't have one concern. The next guy's going to step up and rake. And look what happens.
No.
It's crazy. Shout out, Brett.
Yeah, big shout out to Brett.
DBU and ACU are tied by series. DBU and Abilene Christian are tied with 21 home runs apiece. Texas lead. DBU's coming off winning 2 out of 3 at San Diego. They swept Sam, but got swept in midweeks by Tech. Obviously, it's not your best guns. Just 2 tough losses. They're going to be all right, too. 6-5 right now.
Yeah.
They got Rom back. We just talked about him. Cole Moore, Jace Grady, Blaine Jones, Hefner, Santos. List goes on with these guys too. They raked too.
Definitely.
Dallas Bombers. And thing
Dallas
for
Bombers.
them, they lost some really good starting pitching last year. Hamill was in particular, broke the school record for strikeouts. They've got Eldred, Meador, and Arnold run out there. Arnold's a guy that's been there. He's a veteran. Meador is almost unhittable. And then their bullpen just plays. Johnson, Rose, Rich, Heaton. Shout out Heaton, first save. DBU, man. They're good too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then ones that a lot of people are looking forward to. Texas State, UTSA. They're red hot. Zeke Wood is dominant for Texas State. Sheffield's a true five-tool player. They go to Arizona. They take 2 out of 3. Unbelievable. For UTSA, my note for them is literally what can't they do? They have a true leading coach as a leader, Coach Pat Hallmark. Unbelievable praise for this guy. These guys are good. They beat Stanford. Seems like they sweep everyone and put up 10 runs a game on everyone. You could shout out their whole team and their trainers and their fans and the parking lot attendants. That's who UTSA is.
Yeah.
Another team up there with them, kind of riding that sleeper high right now. TAMU CC. Corpus Christi, baby. They're coming out the gates hot. 8-5 right now.
Yeah, they are.
They got a big fella, Friday night starter. Reminds me of the old TCU guy. He's got a lot of punch outs. He's hard to read the ball off of. He's going to figure it out too. He's doing well already, but he's going to really figure it out. Their other starters are doing great. Brennan Ryan is a baller. Johnson, Poles, Petkoff. That list goes on too. They're good players. Not as big of a power team. And speaking of that, Brendan Ryan, I love you, guy. I wish that ball would have gone over the fence for the sake of college baseball. So they walked off versus SFA, and he absolutely pimped one. And the announcer's like, that ball's off the wall.
No.
Just a tough scene. Love the guy. Incredible time to come up big for the win. Just wish that ball would have gone out. No hate on my end, though, because I can't hit the ball that far.
I mean, no hate on the pimp job, though. I mean, it was a walk-off. Who cares? Won the game. It don't matter. You know? That don't matter.
I agree.
My opinion.
SFA. Stephen F. Austin State. They have a really quality offense. And if you put them in terms of Texas ranks, they're 11th in like 4 categories that we post, and they're like top 6 in a bunch of others that we don't post. They're gritty and they're really veteran-led. PJ Villarreal, Jenny Doge, Kyle Cullen, Crawford's good. Pitching's going to come around. They got Richter, who's an absolute stud on the mound, and the rest is going to come into place. SFA, they got a lot to look up to. They just made the move out west too, I believe, to the WAC.
I think so.
Lamar, I think it's Lamar, SFA, Sam, Abilene Christian.
Yes.
Because you guys in Corpus, still Southland, and UIW.
Yes, that is it. Yeah. That WAC is nasty.
So it's the Southland. All these teams are good. Texas is unbelievable for baseball.
I'm just scrolling through our notes here, and the fact that there is only good things to say about every single one of these teams is just crazy to me. Like, what other state has this type of baseball? You know, nothing. Nobody compares.
No. Nobody buys in to other states. I guess it's the cultish thing. Nobody really buys in.
No.
I want to talk about the University of Texas at Rio Grande Valley. because this is the school with a player that's on Jace Young's level. And let me tell you why. First of all, they took 3 out of 4 from the Penguins of Youngstown State. It's the coolest, probably the coolest team mascot in college.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Dragons are pretty cool too, though. I'll give Paris that. Brandon Pimentel could be the hitter of the year. Right now, he's at 489 average, 18 RBIs, and 7 home runs. He's a Mississippi State transfer. Of
course.
And not only that, he was at Howard. So he's like a Texas college guy. Like, let's go to big school outside. Yeah, they get the cool ring because NC State gets screwed over. But now he's here at UTRGV, and his play just allows him to lead. They seem like another really tight-knit team over there. They're also part of the WAC.
Yeah, definitely.
Kevin Stevens, undeniable. We talked about him. We like to keep in touch with the crazy stat leaders. He's got 18 K per 9 right now.
Wow.
2 strikeouts sprinting from this guy. And then we got the nastiest Flo in Texas as a reliever. So you got this guy striking out 2 batters per inning, and then you get the nastiest Flo in Ricky Jarrett Jr. That's not a team you want to mess with on Friday night.
No, not at all.
And then there's this video of Stevens throwing a slider. I think it's a slider. It could be slur or a curve, the way they classify this stuff now. The way my stuff breaks would have been a slider.
Mm-hmm.
Mine's not that tight. It was he could have really tight curveballs, what I'm trying to say. It fell off the table, and it was just an absolute sword. It was like that guy just hopped out of Minecraft onto the baseball field and then right back into Minecraft.
That's a solid comparison. Like, I think that was a struggle bus for that guy over there. I mean, he just took a hack at it, you know?
JC Ariza, Colton Davis, they've been good on the mound, eating up some innings and starts for UTRGV. Freddie Rojas Jr. has been dude at the plate, and they face off conference play this weekend with Abilene Christian. That's going to be a good one. Down in the valley.
That is going to be, yes.
I will be there on Saturday.
Game to watch, or weekend to watch, I guess. Definitely.
TCU in Kentucky. This one's going to be easy for me to cover. It was a tough weekend for TCU, but I want to give a shout out to Lupton Beers. I am by no means a TCU expert, but I'm buying them as a complete team. Listen to TCU Beers podcast. It'll keep you entertained. Those guys are funny. They got a nasty rotation, and Austin Craw, Riley Cornelio, Walker, Cam Brown, their midweek was up to 98. Unbelievable. Out of the pen, you got River Ridings and Marcelo Perez, who are just stoic out there. Watching Perez pitch at Globe Life, it was just like tough situation, ... wipeout slider. Brendan Taylor, Tommy Seiko, David Bishop are all phenomenal at the plate. Like, they're really good. And then they got Nunez. He's 9 for 9 on stolen bases.
Ooh.
I'm riding these guys high. But listen to Lupton Beers for the expert approach to them. Way in depth.
Mm-hmm.
They talk about Boyers, too. I saw that today. They did a whole stat thread on Boyers. So go check those guys out. Interesting stuff.
Definitely.
All right, we only got a few teams left. We're trying to keep this as condensed as possible.
Yeah.
Tarleton. They've had a tough last 4 games. Came off a win at EIU. Play Washington State. Have them beat. Can't close it out. And almost come back again in the 9th. Fun to watch.
Ooh.
Get swept at Mizzou. They got the light show of a field. And unfortunately, the game I went to was like 36. Nobody was hitting the ball out. They have a lot to look up to. Carter Dobrinsky, the most underrated player in the state of Texas. He rakes. Clutch moments, too. Alec Williams, he's got flow. Not Ricky Jarrett Jr. level, but from UTRGV, but he's got the flow.
Yeah.
They find ways to score, too. Their offense is just productive. It's sometimes not pretty, sometimes it's really pretty. and their pitching is going to come around. I have no worries about them. The interesting matchup this weekend wasn't the best matchup. It was a good one. UIW. All the games were good too, by the way. For UH, you got Brandon Hughes and Ryan Hernandez. Hernandez broke his power drought. He's going to be back. He's going to hit a lot of homers. They got this freshman, Malachi Lott. He's a two-way. He's kind of a beast. I'm excited to watch him develop. Hope he stays at Houston for a long time. Derek Cherry's gross. Jacob Deese is coming on scene. Especially after Madrano's, he had an amazing opening day outing. Jacob Deese is starting to say, this is mine right here. He's really good. He's got some great numbers. Their starter ERA, not where they want it to be yet. I know UH has slept on. They didn't have the greatest 2021. A lot of people are saying Whitting this, Whitting that. But I think Whitting's worried about winning.
Yeah,
I'm not a rapper.
Definitely. I just want to add something that it was a little bit of a rivalry game with Schatzberger coming back to U of H, head coach of UIW, playing his old school.
Yep.
Solid.
UIW, they got Rogers. He's raking. Roberto Gonzalez, he went yard this weekend. It's a guy I used to play with. And he missed the second home run. He hit it off the 400 sign. He was just 2 inches short.
Oh.
And they have Alec Carr over at UIW. He was a Texas commit and was really good in high school with Simeon Woods over at Kempner. And now he's over at UIW. Slow start. Not terrible. Just a little slow. He's going to figure it out. And they got Garza and Rollins on the hill. Those are dudes. They're going to be leaders for the Cardinals over there. The Western Cardinals.
Yeah.
One, it's a little still slept on. And the UH level slept on. That's Texas A&M.
Yeah.
I didn't know a nice way to say it. Not the most loud opening to Schlossnagel's career. Not the most noise-making. They're going to be okay. They're really good. They got Minnick and Moss. Minnick hits a laser every time he steps up to the plate. Jack Moss is really good. That lefty duo. They got Micah Dallas. He's a transfer from Texas Tech. They got Prager and Detmer on the mound. Dallas has been pitcher of the week. He's been all sorts of awards worthy. He's just an awesome human being and a greater pitcher. He's going to lead those guys. Those guys are going to be good come SEC play. You can't sleep on Coach Schlossnagel. He built something amazing in Fort Worth.
No.
Sure to do it again.
Yeah, definitely. We just fell short to them. They're just a very good team. You don't hear a lot about them right now, but they're good for sure.
They also have Dylan Rock from UTSA. He was really good over for San Antonio. And they got
it was
this Christian Curtis guy. He's their midweek. Up to 96. I think he's given up 1 or 2 runs, if he's even given one up. He's good. I got to watch him versus Lamar. He could be a weekend guy if something went left, but hopefully things go right. And maybe he'll be a closer for this year. Or maybe he's just too good that they'll do park games or something. You never know how it's going to go. Prairie View, they've had a tough go, but they had an amazing win at New Mexico State. Shout out Panthers. 12-hour bus ride west. Next day, play New Mexico State, and they win. And it was a blowout for a while. They allowed some runs at the end. They had a 2-home run game. Starter went 7 2/3, I believe. 2 runs. Just good baseball from Prairie View. They can keep that consistency. They're not to be slept on. Couple tough weekends. They're going to be all right. And come conference play, they're going to be a lot better. And we cannot forget the matchup of Anthony Larzabal and Frank from Arkansas Pine Bluff. Probably the best looking dudes in terms of dude vision. College baseball dude vision in America. We got 3 teams left to cover. I'm going to save Rice for last just because those are my boys.
Sure. Go for it.
UTA, University of Texas Arlington, the Mavs. They're a solid ball team. They lost Carlos Tavera last year. He was an amazing pitcher, 100-plus innings, 100-plus Ks, broke school records. I'm proud to see that he was one of those gems that nobody knew about, and we got to alert the state of Texas. And not only that, the draft already knew about him, but we got to tell Texas guys about him. There he is. I wish him the best. They had a 4-run ninth inning to come back and beat Nebraska.
That was crazy.
Impressive.
It was.
Nebraska does not like playing in Texas. 1-3 against Sam, 0-3 against TCU, 1-1 against UTA. We love it, Mavs.
One of these days they're gonna learn Nebraska's not gonna come back to Texas. They're gonna be done with us.
True that. Go to Arizona or something.
Yeah.
Gray Bailey threw 5 shutout this weekend. In his first collegiate start.
First ever. Yeah.
It's incredible. And they won 1-0. So talk about pressure. This guy can handle that pressure now. He's going to be carving diamonds.
Oh, yeah.
Zach Henry, Van Vuren, sorry if I said that wrong, Jaden Brown, all hitting 300. Arlington's going to be okay. They know how to play clean ball. Very similar to Lamar. Yeah. They're going to be good. Definitely nothing to worry about over there. Texas Southern can steal some bases. 56 steals through 3 weeks.
Wow. That is crazy.
They started 6-0. They've lost 7 since, so they're a streaky team. But if they can keep finding those streaks, they might just be all right. They played in a couple regionals recently. They played in one with Texas A&M, and Indiana. So these guys are definitely not out for the count. Just a little streaky. Their pitching came out red hot. Yeah. I think they just got a few less walks. They'll be all right. They hit a lot of home runs. They're at 12, I believe, 12 or 13 homers. Texas Southern's going to be okay.
Solid.
Especially with this little Houston rivalry you got going on. All 4 teams are turning in the right direction. Mm-hmm. And lastly, my Rice Owls. They got Titanicked by Melendez opening weekend. When Melendez homers, it breaks the internet. So unfortunate that Rice had to deal with that twice in one game. But they're going to be okay. They got the pitching lab. They got new coaches, Coach Cruz, Coach Bostic. They got Giannis still there. If y'all don't remember Paul Giannis. Parker actually went to the same high school. Cypress Creek.
Yeah.
And
yeah, Cy Creek. Big cougar over there. Yes, sir.
Giannis does have a ring from his playing days at Rice. He won a natty. They're going to be okay. Mm-hmm. Cooper Chandler, I've heard from different players in Texas, he's a Pepperdine guy. He's very effective. He's just got lit up early. Could be nerves. Never know. Could be not used to the thick Texas air. It's also been cold. Yeah. Who knows? Not making excuses, but I heard he's good. Hope he performs. Yeah. I'm our guy forever. Austin Bullman tearing it up on offense. Guy Garibay hit 3 home runs already. They lost 3 out of 4 versus Harvard. Just not the cleanest baseball. And obviously that's something that's going to get better. I don't think they have much to worry about. They're going to be okay. They do have a gauntlet of a schedule. They play La Tech on a weekend like you guys. But they got Charlotte, Southern Miss, UTSA, and ODU. That's a gauntlet. That's an insane mid-major. But yeah, they'll be okay. They got a lot. I believe I heard they have 18 guys that throw over 90. So I don't know if that's just 90, above 90. Who knows? But that's exciting news. And that concludes our summary for the week on all these teams. Went a little longer than we planned, but we had a good time talking baseball, man. It's It's hard to fight that.
Oh yeah, I mean, you can't get anything better than baseball, especially Texas baseball. Just superior.
I also wanted to shout out ACU's offense. I posted the graphic today.
Yeah.
ACU's leading the slugging or the OPS by like 60 points. Like, I get they hit 11 home runs, but that gap is from first to second. Good luck pitching to those guys. Yeah, good luck pitching to those guys.
Yeah.
Thankfully, they're not Southland, so you won't be back there squatting against them. Actually, I know that you guys would be ready to throw them, whatever, and
oh yeah,
you guys aren't afraid. I love watching you guys. I'll be there tomorrow.
Awesome. Love to hear that.
Keep the streak hot.
Yes, sir.
I'll keep the tweets rolling. You keep the baseball
grinding.
hot. And is there anything else you got to say?
No, I mean, take it from a current collegiate baseball player right now who has to deal with class and traveling and everything. Kel is grinding much harder than I am right now. Like, just going at it. Yes, sir.
No.
So just appreciate what he does. I'm ready to keep this going. This is huge.
We love Texas. We love college baseball.
Yeah.
And until Manfred makes up his silly little mind, we will bleed college baseball. Thanks for listening. Thanks for joining me, Park, talking about the HBU boys.
Yes, sir. Love it. HBU for life. You know how it is.
You guys take care. Thank you, ACU.